You're listening to Blue Please on WoW Radio for the second of last time, I believe, with myself, Total Biscuit. Don't worry, we're not going away. I'm heading over to cynicalbrit.com. And if you're listening on the podcast, 90% chance, maybe even higher than that, that you won't have to do anything. Everything will be transferred over, the feed will be transferred. If not, and if you don't end up getting a show downloaded on, say, when is the next one? The 5th of February 2010, then head over to cynicalbrit.com and look at the RSS feed there, because something might have gone wrong with it. Whatever, you'll be able to get your tracks from there, I can guarantee you. So, we are dealing with this Twitter stuff. It's a bit of a no-effort show today, mainly because I'm incredibly tired. I'm really tired. Well, nah, I've been taking a nap. Send fires and missiles! On Fires and Missiles later, I've got a great Civ 4 game going on with Beyond the Sword. I'm playing as Mahatma Gandhi, who is reigning terror upon the entire known world, which I believe is historically accurate in every possible respect. Maybe. Right, so here we go. Yet more of the tweeting. If you want to follow along with this, it's on MMO Champion. I'm reading their version as opposed to the Blizzard version just because it set out better. Now, the last question we asked was stuff about Sawanite. Next question. Are there plans to improve the Dwarven racials? At this point, anything is better than find treasure. Answer, well, we are adding archaeology to WoW... ... Everyone roll a dwarf, quickly! Next question. Oh, we're not interested in pet scanning. That can go away. Does Blizzard have anything in the works to offer former players of WoW? Answer, maybe we can give you a good reason to come back. They're offering new content, as they continue to always do. If you decide to come back, then cool. If you don't, not cool. I quit for the entirety of 3.2, and for half of 3.1, after the guild just got sick of raiding Ulduar. So, that's... you know, surely they provided me with something in the form of Ice Crown, right? Because I was a former player, I am now a current player. I will going back to be a former player when I get bored. I will come back again. What do you want, a medal? Congratulations, you quit the game. Here, have this prize. No, I'm not going to reward that. Next question. No, we don't care about that. Do we care about this? Yes, we do. Are there more plans for unique weapon procs as the game goes forward? How do you see this affecting min-maxing? Answer, we want to keep adding procs and other interesting mechanics to keep the items from feeling exactly like the item it's replacing with a few more stats. We know they're hard at the balance, but that's part of the fun. Well, yeah, exactly! I've been saying this all along! Especially for PvE. Procs are the best thing. Because otherwise it's just, hey, it's a nice new model with slightly more stats. That's not interesting! And major issues with several RPGs that do that. Why can't we have it do cool stuff? Chance to make enemies explode everywhere. Huh? Proc chances are awesome. I want to see more of them. As a mage, I've never really got to experience proc chances in terms of weapons. Trinkets, sure, but not weapons. It'd be nice to see more caster procs. Oh yes, make things a little bit more interesting. Yes, it'll affect min-maxing. Okay, that's a small price to pay. I would rather it be the case that nothing comes out as invariably better. Objectively better, provably better. It would be nice if you had options. I'd go for procs, absolutely. It's great fun. Next question. City raiding seems like a great way to promote Horde vs Alliance PvP. Will there be any added incentives for this? Answer, we like the idea of fighting in cities. We don't like the idea of massive lag, having so many people in one area who are just wanting to play the AH or whatever, getting nuked. Well, that doesn't happen anyway, of which you know, I might add, because you only get involved in city raids if you actually actively shoot somebody. You don't take damage otherwise. Although I suppose if you're already flagged for PvP. Yeah, I can see the issue. Now, they have ideas for Cataclysm, apparently. City raiding has always been pretty interesting. I think it comes down to the point that people have this big nostalgia for South Shore versus Tarren Mill, and they want to go invade towns. To be honest, I would prefer not seeing city raiding. I prefer to see town raiding. with some actual incentives for that. I'm not talking about fighting over Halar or any other such failure. An actual South Shore versus Taran Mill setup where it's two rival towns and there are quests to do, ways to sabotage things, and what the other side does directly affects the other. You know? You have to make it worthwhile, because Halar gave nothing of note, so nobody bothered fighting over it. Hey, an extra flight point, big deal. Who cares, especially when you got flying mounts at that point. But yeah, if you can give something worthwhile, then I think people will do it. But I would love to see a zone where it's a South Shore versus Taran Mill style thing going on, but with a lot more structure to it. I don't think city raiding's really the way forward, to be honest. We've seen it done in Warhammer Online. Warhammer Online's built for it. WoW isn't. WoW's too much of a Care Bear game to deal with that. We don't care about that, or that, or that. Yeah, it's all class-specific stuff, or Canada-specific stuff. Actually, I like this. Can we expect a Canadian-style pet for the Olympics this year? Answer, I will put in a request for an epic moose mount. Not sure if it'll make it, though. Beaver mount, man! Honestly. I would pay big money, honestly. Big moolah for a beaver mount. What else have we got? No, we're not interested in stupid wannabe Neos. Oh, it's terrible. Will rogue hunters ever be able to dual-wield hand crossbows or pistols? Oh, shut up. You've watched the Matrix or John Woo movies once too much. Thank you very much. Well, I suppose you could also argue they've been playing Torchlight. But, right, okay, on that same target, you can put them in as long as you let me dual-wield wands. Oh, yeah. I'd be packing. Not one, but two wands. You can call them Mac 10s, and I can go roll in the hood, and so forth. No hunter stuff, we don't care. Armor sets out. For those of us who collect tabards and armor sets, do you see a way for us to store and not use our very limited inventory? Yes, we like to store them the same way as you do titles. In general, we don't want to punish the pack rats out there who just like to collect stuff. We'll have to wait and see what we can do about it. I'll tell you what you can do about it. A trophy case. Make a buyable trophy case. Add it to the bank. Stick them in there. You could have it set up so that it would automatically show what was on the character. So it would be like the dressing room feature built into it. And you've got all the sets there and it would automatically collect them. And maybe you could set up custom sets, like say RP sets or whatever. It's like, this is my evening wear, yes. And they click on the evening wear and it's listed back there as evening wear. You click on it and you click equip. And it takes the stuff out of the bank, and maybe it could automatically store your current set within the bank. There you go, see? I do your job for you. Go implement it. Next question. Will we see any new world bosses in the near future? Answer, I never say never, given that we haven't designed patch 6.0 yet, but they do present some problems for large organized groups trying to make multiple attempts without interference. Oh, for God's sake. It's not... Well, you've got to understand this, right? World bosses are not progression. It's not the same thing. It never has been. The idea is they're cool optional things. Do you complain and whine because you don't get the time-lost Proto-Drake every time? What about rare spawns? Are they unfair? Oh, someone interfered with me while I was trying to get my time-lost Proto-Drake because they killed me on a PvP server. It's the way it goes. You go and do them because they have some kind of cool gear and they're kind of cool bosses. And not everyone gets to do them, and that's okay, because it's just a boss. It's just one boss. God's sake. It was the whining and the complaining that killed the idea of world bosses, and I hate the people that whined and complained about it. I used to do the world bosses, and yeah, sometimes you'd get ganked. Ganking on a PvP server, it's more likely than you think. That's half the challenge. Look at what War does. War's got a dungeon, yeah? Which one faction gets access to through PvP. But if the timer runs out, as opposed to what you get right now in Wintergrass, where you get kicked out, the other faction gets to go in there and kill you! How cool is that? But if it was in WoW, people would cry, my progression. Oh, grow up. Deal with it. Man up. HTFU. For God's sake. Yeah, put some world bosses in there. Not designed for everybody. Get it into your head that not everything in the game is designed for everybody. Oh, but we don't want to see the content. Okay, fly past it then. There's the content. You've seen it. Now go away. Next question. Is there If there is one thing you wanted to have added to ICC Wrath the Lich King in general, what would it have been? Answer: more Azul Narub. There's a lot of things we could have done with the Underground Empire, from a raid zone to a world zone. We hope we get to it someday. Personally, I'm a big fan of the whole Underdark vibe. Oh, some D&D there, I see. Yes. Well, I don't like Azul Narub. I don't like underground stuff. I like the open sky. I like the birds singing, the gargoyles screeching, the frostworms freezing innocent civilians. I like to see the cold clouds and the bitter winter sun in the air. I just don't like caves, man. Maybe I'm a bit claustrophobic. Claustrophobia is very, very common amongst trolls, I tend to find it. It's a bit of a genetic trait. We're rather tall, you see. That's why we have to stoop. Next question. What do we got? Are heirloom items in the recruit a friend system going to work at the start of Cataclysm, particularly for Worgens? Most likely heirlooms. For recruit a friend, we'll have to see. We understand some players want to get in the endgame as fast as possible. Maybe the Realm First achievement should stay without XP bonuses. Yeah, that is a perfect compromise. That's accepting right there that people have different priorities. There is a lot of crying on the forums about this. When the recruit a friend system first came out, when heirlooms first came out, people were like, well, ruining my experience. No, it's not ruining your experience. Some people don't want to spend that much time doing it. That's why people buy accounts and characters. And I totally understand that. I wouldn't recommend it, but I understand why people do it. Yeah, give people options. Fine, put the Realm First achievement in there. I'm kind of surprised that they're putting the Realm First achievement in there, considering the crying that happened over it last time. Whiners ruin everything for anyone. They are the reason, folks, that we cannot have nice things. Pretty terrible. Yeah, perfect compromise. Go for it. Let me use my recruit a friend system. Let me use my heirlooms. If I want to quickly level up a troll druid, I want to quickly level one up. That's my call. Nobody else's. Mine. Mine, 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 mine. Mine? Mine? Next question. How will you handle beta testing if you don't want to spoil the Worgen Goblin starting areas? Answer: we didn't want to spoil them in BlizzCon. I imagine they will be in the beta. On the other hand, you can play the new higher level zones if you don't want to spoil it. The Goblin starting town will blow your mind! Oh, really? We shall see. Well, the Death Knight one was pretty good, so... They keep making this argument, but I don't know if I'd ever really want to do that. Well, we'll see. Right, next one. Will we ever see proper physics animation for chain weapons? No, no, no. Don't be dumb. The engine barely handles what it's got to begin with. Go away. Will you guys have Worgen Goblin race change unlocked until somebody on the realm gets level 85 as a Worgen Goblin? We'll probably delay it for a few weeks or months. We haven't fully decided. Okay, fine. I don't really see the point in that, but okay. Surely it would be... If people just want to change, then what's so wrong with that? Especially if you're claiming that you're going to be revamping all the racials so that they're all worth having. I don't see the problem with that. Don't give them the achievement or whatever, but... Surely that's people's choice, right? If I want to become a Goblin or a Worgen, and I want to use your race change feature, then surely you should let me. I mean, for God's sake. I'm surprised that you're able to resist the gouging. Alright, next question. What will Cataclysm have to offer solo players? Answer: Cataclysm has a ton of new quests, both in the new zones and in old familiar areas. There will be a ton to do. Also, if your completionist casual type, one word, archaeology. Yes, casual type. Okay, I'm fine with that. I expected new quests. If they didn't put new quests into expansion, I'd be kind of scratching my head and wondering what the hell they were doing. Why not give all races the ability to be every class? Oh, God, don't do that. We're getting pretty close to that in Cataclysm, but some combos just don't make any sense. Goblin Paladins would strike me as bizarre. Yeah, it also kind of defeats the point of the exercise. You'd then just pick the one that was min-maxed. Gotta have a little bit of variety, surely. It's nice to see different things. Like, hey, right, well, this is the best combination. Oh, look, everyone's this now. Awesome. Great. Yeah, we can do without that. Will Cataclysm bring the return of special procs such as the Unstoppable Force? Answer: one of the fun aspects of looking at those old zones are the chances to try and hit up the nostalgia for things like that, so yes. Oh, awesome. So, I can get a new Unstoppable Force. Can I get a new Staff of the Shadow Flame? Because, oh, yeah. I'd be all over that. I would pay good money, man. It's awesome. Let's do one more, and then we shall bring it to a close. Did Ghostcrawler ever give out those ponies he promised? Answer: First, are you a paladin? If so, then no ponies for you. Everyone else can have a very small pony. The DKK say very, very small hero pony. You know, you should have made the entire QA like that. It would have been way more interesting. There's one about arena rewards, but who cares about PvP? Am I right? Maybe not. Whatever. My name is Total Biscuit. I'm coming back with the illusion of choice after the break. You got 4 minutes to get your topics in at the last minute, you horrible, disorganized people. This is Lacuna Coil. This is Swamped. Enjoy.